Lucius, do you have a hand grenade that you can throw in there?
Question right back at you, bro. What's a hand grenade?
I don't know. I heard about it in a time warp.
Cool. That's not going to help us right now. Let's get going, okay?
No, I know what a hand grenade is, and I like reach down and start like, just give me a minute. I've seen this with monkeys at the zoo. Stand by. Is that what? No.
All right. Everybody bring it in, dial it in. Ready? Let's get immersed. All right. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, the party had met with Sidonius, an elderly green-scaled dragonborn, a known recluse in the town of Cordis, having attracted his attention for their heroics on the lift earlier that evening in their rescue of several innocent bystanders from the crashing mechanism that fell down to the bottom of Deep Crack. He brought them to his home and informed them he was part of a secret organization out to do good in the world by any means necessary. He offered you all a job for 500 gold pieces to explore a mysterious house in East Crack that may be connected to the recent disappearance of several villagers. After making your way to the house, you found inside several strange creatures, small humanoids with pale skin stretched over their skeletons, lipless mouths revealing yellow fangs, and panicked lidless eyes. And you heard strange maddening whispers echoing in your minds as you fought these feral creatures. After the battle, you recognized them as Starspawn, heralds of a long-forgotten evil banished to the far reaches of the multiverse. After descending through a hole in the floor, you came upon another multi-armed horror, another type of Starspawn that you fought over a stone bridge that spanned an endless chasm. And we pick up now where we left the party as they recover from the battle and continue to explore this underground cavern in search of some means to inform Sidonius of what was actually going on here in this mysterious house. All right, what do you all do?
You guys did so great there. That was just such great fighting. I'm so honored to be with you guys on this adventure.
Well, I'm pretty good at fighting. It's true. Got to stab some stuff. That's not bad.
Yeah, you were great there, Rory.
I'm trying to remember. Did Valfire turn into a spider again? There was that guy that was underneath there, and he went for him. Yeah.
He had, in fact, turned into a spider.
Yeah.
Valfire, you could still potentially be in your spider form. It hasn't been an hour since you wild shaped, so.
Mm-hmm. I would have. Valfire would have turned back into the halfling form, pull his hood up. And is the body of the creature nearby, Raj?
Yes, the body of the creature is on a.
I think he jumped off the bridge in Sorrow, or jumped into the abyss.
Oh, you're right. That creature actually perished as a result of the vicious mockery dealt by Smiles, who laid one final insult that penetrated its psyche and caused it to hurl itself over the bridge into the chasm, meeting its untimely demise far below the surface of the earth.
That's so unlike me to just insult somebody to death. I mean, I like to be so friendly with him. He was just a mean guy.
I genuinely didn't know you could do that. I thought you always had to stab them, burn them, fire, acid. What else? What else, Lucius? What else? You punch them, I guess?
Bros. Give peace a chance, man. Bros. You know what I'm saying, man? Yes. Next time we got to go in there. We got to try to talk to them. Try hugs. Have you tried to hug, man?
Did you see those things
You're
in
so
their
right.
mouths?
You're so right. Maybe the hugging. Maybe it wasn't that I didn't love him enough. You know, like you love your tent mate, and you should love everybody.
Brosif, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Brosif, man.
Yes,
That's what I'm
yes.
talking about. Let's do
So
let's try it.
wise, Lucius. So
Guys,
wise.
guys, these Starspawn are the heralds of dark evil things coming to get us from the multiverse.
But do you
even
think
know
they
what
might
that
want to be
means.
friends? Do you think
No,
we should try to?
no, I
be
think they
friends
want to
with them?
devour us. So I think we definitely stab them.
But I
That
mean,
does not seem nice.
bro, man, that sounds like somebody who just didn't get enough hugs when they were younger, man.
True.
I'm just
true.
saying,
Maybe
man.
we could start now.
Good lord, you fools! Can't you see that we're in the belly of the beast? Stop your bitter chitter chattering. Focus on what's on hand.
You're
There could be
right,
more of
Theo.
these. There could be more of these creatures around, my lord. And I would have turned back to a halfling. Are there any other creatures in this room that we killed that I can inspect the bodies?
There are 2 bodies of the smaller Starspawn figures that you had also fought that you actually got the drop on as you entered the chamber.
All right, Valfire will go over to those creatures. Out of one of his other back pouches, he pulls these large, what appears to be seeds, and he reaches in and just stuffs the seeds into their mouths and says, "From death comes life. Life is one vicious circle. Now, this bodies will give these plants a chance to live. And then, but we must continue searching for answers to this question." And
What an
not to wor-
optimist
and I-
you are.
Oh, it's the circle of life. It's
Oh,
nice.
Valfire, you always find the best things, even in death.
It's true. And not to worry, if when it's your time, I shall also stuff a very large seed down your throat, and I will
Well-
be sad about it. But
After
also
you're done
happy
doing
for you.
this, Paul, you turn around and you see just Lucius over you, being like, "Bro, man, what you doing? Bro, what you doing? What you putting in his mouth, man? What you doing?
Is that food? Is it food for you?
Is it food? It looks like a seed. Seed?
Do you
Can
eat
I,
these
a
guys?
seed? Can I? Is he needed? Because I like
I have a
I like seeds. I like seeds.
Hey,
Seeds. I like. Can I get some?
no, bro. Quiet.
Just
We're
one,
in the
man,
belly of
just
the
one.
beast.
Can I get one? Can I get one?
And I fine. Reach into my pouch and I reach back and I just huck it over the edge. Go get it.
He just like bolts, wings just.
All right, go ahead and make an acrobatics check. Let's see if you can actually make
Gross.
opposed acrobatics checks. Let's see if you can catch the seed faster than he can throw it.
I have rolled.
What do you got,
24.
Bellfire? 24. All right, that's pretty good.
Versus a 7.
7.
All right. Yeah. So as you hurl it over, before it even leaves your hand, Lucius is in the air, wings flapping, feathers just kind of like spraying out into the air, and he catches it before it even passes the lip of the cavern in his mouth, and you can hear like the crunch between his beak as he.
Ha ha, you fool. That was a good berry, not a seed. I tricked you. Enjoy 1 hit point of life.
Bro, man, that's so nice of you, man. I'm gonna totally take because I needed that.
Lucius, you should also poop to give the seeds more fertilizer.
What is it called when you
Yeah,
take coffee beans and then you put it through cats?
Oh, civet.
Cats?
The
Is
civet.
it bats?
Is
No,
it bats or cats?
Civet. The civet is an animal that you feed them to, and then it poops it out. You grind the beans.
Why do you know that?
Well,
How
I
do
don't
you
know.
not know it? How do you not know that?
I knew it existed. Raj knew it intimately.
Oh yes.
right.
It is a very common crossword puzzle clue, actually.
Okay.
Anyway, so
This spot, there's a doorway or something, right? Can we look around here?
no, there's no doorway. There is this natural stone bridge that spans this chasm that goes deep into the earth, and you have not yet been to the other side of the bridge, where there is a cliff, a platform on that side, and it looks like there are several stalagmites in a corner that are blocking off a tiny alcove.
Rose.
Quick question. I say, does anyone need healing? of any sort?
Oh no, I'm good. I took some singes, but I'm okay.
Bro, thanks for the question, man. Thanks for looking out. I appreciate your role, man. But like, I am golden, man. All right, Anyone else? Go.
I'm pretty tired. I could sleep for a long time. So I'm so tired.
Hey, man, Smiles. Not the time. Not the time, bro.
But it's like
This guy's so
it's
lazy.
like 11 o'clock.
This guy's so lazy.
It's actually like 2 or 3 in the morning at this
Okay.
point. The
Bro,
incident
man.
at the lift happened around 10 p.m. You spent a lot of time traversing the city in Deep Crack. You went to the Flounder Pounder. You chatted with Sidonius. It's late in the evening. Yeah.
Cool, got it.
So yeah, maybe we could just go to sleep right now.
Oh, I think it's pretty dangerous down here, man. I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
man.
Hey, Lucius, you want to go explore over here a little bit?
Yeah,
here? We'll
man.
try-
But I want to go ahead with Smiles, and man, you should try one of these little cocoa beans, man. Just chew on that, man.
Ooh, that does look nice. I eat a cocoa bean. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. And if you want to, I can be a civic for it. Just let me know. Take me a day or two.
Oh yeah. Actually, and I just take it back out of my mouth. I say that sounds fantastic, and I give it to you, and I say let's try this out.
Cool, man.
I'm open to
Cool,
new
man.
things.
Aarakocra gift, man. All right, cool. And he takes it and just swallows it whole.
We'll
He's
check
like,
back in
Get
8
back to
hours.
you in- yeah. Get
12
back to you in
for
the morning,
18
man.
hours? Yeah.
He's like, hold on, I got to go across this way, and he like flies over.
Oh, and I'll trace over the bridge.
Casual float over, just like flap, flap, flap.
All right, yeah. Let's proceed across the bridge. What do we see?
So you traverse the chasm, some of you on foot, some of you by wing, and make your way to the other side where you see a cluster of stalagmites that seem to be blocking off part of the chasm. There looks to be a small alcove beyond. Go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage if you'd like to look before you leap inside the alcove.
I have dark vision. Does that counteract it?
It's still there are a lot of stalagmites occluding
Sure.
the
Sure.
entrance. So
I have a.
So sorry. The option is we can leap into a dark area obscured by stalagmites.
it was a figure of speech. I was asking if you wanted to make a perception check before going in. If you would like to do so, you can roll with disadvantage.
Oh, 7. Yeah, 7.
Yeah, a 16 and a 5 for a 3.
18 on disadvantage. Rolled a 20 and a 15.
Very nice.
Baby.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. All right. With your keen bird eyes, the vision obviously taking up 80% of your bird brain, you manage to see beyond the stalagmites several figures laying very still beyond, casting strange shadows or unmoving shadows of still figures lying beyond the stalagmites.
I stop midair and go to silent floating mode, which apparently I'm just gonna make up as Aarakocras can do that. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Sure. Go ahead
And
and
then
make
I
a
just
stealth.
go. I just
Go
go.
make a stealth check.
I just go like this, like this. Do the fist thing. Stealth check.
Yeah.
That is a 13.
Okay. So you you try to halt everyone in their tracks. You do the Star-Lord thing where you put up your fist and everybody just keeps walking past you slowly. All right, what do you guys do?
I turn to them and go, bros, buddies, totally like 3 dudes down there, like unsavory, high possibility. Gotta be careful.
Lucius, do you have a hand grenade that you can throw in there?
Question right back at you, bro. What's a hand grenade?
I don't know. I heard about it in a time warp.
Cool. That's not gonna help us right now. Let's get going, okay?
No, I know what a hand grenade is, and I like reach down and start like, just give me a minute. I've seen this with monkeys at the zoo. Stand by. Is that what? No. And I see Valfire looks at it. Oh no, I with my clan in the forest as younglings, we would throw hand grenades. It was quite funny at the time.
I can't, Paul.
Sorry. I see. Everything needs something different. Okay, continue.
A little too
Unfortunately.
much. A little too much of the Ghostwise Halfling clan has been revealed. Yet the alcove remains unexplored. Remarkably, what do you guys do?
Bros, who is like totally the stealthiest of us? Because like that person should jump in there and check out these people. Who's in there?
I got it, and I'm gonna jump in there.
Like literally jump in.
You're not
Okay.
stealthy.
You jump in, and it's almost like going through prison bars. The way these stalagmites are sticking up, the way these stalagmites are sticking up, almost like in a cluster. But you manage to kind of squeeze your way through, and when you emerge on the other side, you can see a horrific sight before you. There are about 11 bodies here, all in various states of disembowelment, ranging from small children to the elderly, of all species, all races, all genders here. And they have been mutilated beyond recognition in many cases. Faces having been torn off, the entrails having been pulled out of the bellies and tied to the entrails of other bodies here. Some of them suspended along the wall and hung upside down so that the blood can be leaked out into a bucket below. You can see many bloody footprints from these puddles that have formed of the viscera of these poor citizens. And among the mess, the absolute slaughter here, you see several belongings, perhaps belonging to some of these people, backpacks, satchels, clothes, etc., all kind of piled up into one corner of the alcove.
First off, disgusting, man.
Yeah. Does this type of slaughter ring a bell for any of us?
It does not. You've never seen anything like this before. There's no real semblance of this to anything that you've experienced.
Sorry. I'm fine.
I thought you're okay with death, bro.
Yeah, bro. Bro, what's up, man?
Oh,
This is
Lucius, you made me
unnatural.
start saying bro.
Are we all in the cavern now?
You can be if you'd like. Step into the alcove, assuming
Yeah.
Hror has decided to relate what he's seen.
Rory, what's it look like in there? Do we have some friends in there?
Man, not even the new Imperialists do this stuff. This is not good. This is... Be warned, it's pretty gruesome in here.
Oh boy, well I've seen some gruesome stuff, and I'll squeeze my way in there and look around, put my lantern out. And is it a dead end? Is there anywhere else to go in this room?
It does not appear. It is indeed. It is quite the dead end. It does not appear there are any other entrances or exits to this alcove.
Can I find any identifying information about people within the belongings?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation is not something this bard is amazing at. But he can sing about it. 17.
17. You find what looked to be the daily accoutrement of people that you might see around Cordis. The things that they were carrying at the time, it looks like that they passed on. You find one sack full of apples that somebody must have been carrying to and or from the market. You find a backpack full of books. You find a pocket knife. You find a coil of rope. These were just the sort of daily trappings of life here. You do find one particularly interesting thing to the side of the pile of objects here. It looks to be a strange sort of book. The cover that you can just sort of see out of the corner of your eye. You almost didn't see it because the cover is a very deep black, so black that it looks like it is not made of a material. It looks like an empty space, and it were it not for like sort of the yellowed, frayed edges of the pages, you probably would have just completely missed it. But that stands out to you.
Okay, so one thing I would like to take I would like to take the rope and add that to my my inventory, since previously I did not have rope.
Sure. Now your inventory is full of one coil of 50-foot rope, and that's
All right.
it.
No, I have got some other stuff in there, like a flute.
The important things.
The important things.
The
Flute
important
and
things.
rope.
Okay, and then
All right.
and then I'd like to pick up this book and open it and see what's inside.
Raj, would you say this book looks like that? Like you see those paintings of like the thing that's like covered in like that paint that absorbs 100% of light.
It's sort of
Vanta
like
black.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. As a matter of fact, as you move to touch it, Smiles, the book actually, you're not quite sure of its dimensions because it looks like empty space, but you finally manage to grab it, and it seems a lot thicker than you had anticipated. The binding exceeding the width of the pages significantly. As you pick it up and open it, what you see before you is crazy and almost defies explanation. Every page looks like a void, a three-dimensional void, blackness with pinpricks of light representing stars, some of them looking much closer and much farther away. It looks like you could move your hand through the space of each page, and as you turn each page, you can see every page is like that, except for the white ink scrawled on each page in what looks to be one complete run-on sentence that spans every page of this book. It seems to start on page 1 in mid-sentence and continues to the very last page without any breaks, no punctuation, no capitalization representing a new sentence. It all seems one long continuous thought scrawled in
And
white.
the sentence, does it seem to have any meaning, or does it seem to be gibberish?
It seems rather gibberish-like, and I am going to copy and paste some of the text that you read. I'll text that to you all, but basically you flip to a random page and find a passage, and so it goes. Would that I could see the stars, see the stars, see the stars, and touch the void. Rather, let the void touch me with snaking tendrils of despair, for what could be better than to be ushered into the pit of nothingness by the great old one himself, and for eternity there is not, there was not, there will be not, naughty Imelda. Run away you did, but I caught you, naughty you. It's blood, the trouble was too much blood. And it just goes on and on.
So I am going to say Valfire. Valfire, have you ever seen anything like this? You're a smart guy. I bet you saw something like this before.
Oh, you're talking about smart guys there? This guy right here, this little dude right here. Let me take a look at that.
Yeah,
may be
you guys
smart,
both.
but
you both take a look.
I'm
and
very wise. I studied with the druid in the woods for many years. Perhaps I've seen it. This great old one, you say, but I'll defer to Rory. He's very book smart.
This weird star stuff. Yeah, I like books a lot. The star stuff looks magical. Can I investigate this a little bit, Raj?
Yeah, go ahead and make either.
I'm looking for magic, is what I'm doing. I mean, the sparkles make me think magic, right?
Go ahead and roll Arcana. Yeah.
All right, rolling Arcana.
Yeah.
Ooh, 18.
You with an 18 Arcana, you figure the book itself must be magical, as it could not have been crafted by mundane means. There is some illusory effect applied to the pages and to the binding, the cover itself. And as you examine it further, your search kind of takes you to the last page, where you read some other very interesting text, which again I will copy paste to you all and read once more. Hastur will return. Hastur will return. Hastur will return. It was time, 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 the ceaseless that was ceased, and so he waits forever, ever, ever, but not because we know it was the chronomaticum, and the dragonborn will be set free, and the elves, and the dwarves, and the goblins, and the birds, and the rocks, and all will be nothing, and nothing will be all, for the inevitable night comes, comes, comes.
Raj, what do I know about the Great Old One, which was mentioned in the earlier sections?
Go ahead and make a religion check.
I throw it out there. It mentions the Great Old One. Does anyone else?
Can I check if I've read that as well, Raj?
Yeah, go ahead and make a religion check if you're interested in trying to understand
13
more.
religion check.
Okay.
Sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. Only an 8.
Okay. Neither of you have any idea what this is.
Okay, I'm gonna take the book and pack it up, and then is there anything that we could take that might be able to represent, might be able to identify somebody, like as we get out here, to show to what's his name?
Sidonius.
To say like, hey, this is a person we found down here.
What did you roll on your initial investigation check?
I think it was an 18. Let me.
That sounds right. Yeah, I think that's right. With an 18, it's
17.
17. It's difficult to say what here among the mess might be attributable to a given individual, but you do find some interesting knickknacks. You find a small bracelet that may have been worn by one of them, a small doll that was probably an artifact of one of the children here, things of that nature. So you can certainly try to pick up one or two of these things if you'd like.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take the bracelet and a couple of other things, and then. Hey guys, I think we've probably fulfilled our agreement with Sidonius here. Should we go back and let's go chat? I think this is pretty bad.
I think we got to go back, and I think we got to talk about whether we're going to let Lavela Morrstrider know, because this does have to do with the city, and a bunch of the citizens are dead down here. It's not great, and we did kill these bad guys, these Starspawn. So, maybe it's good for the reputation a little bit.
Would we all know that Starspawn are prevalent in the city, or is this like a rare occasion that, to your point, like we would report this?
I'd read about them. Yeah, we'd definitely report. This is weird and atypical.
Yeah.
Raj?
Okay.
Yeah, extremely atypical. These are creatures that are heralds of long forgotten evils banished to the other side of the multiverse. Let alone Cordis, this would not be here on Aneril at all.
Valfire would just try to see if he can inspect to see how long these people have been dead for. Just maybe as part of the information that might be helpful for identifying them.
Sure, go ahead and make a survival check.
Medicine?
Or medicine. Actually, medicine would be better. Yeah.
I rolled a 16 for medicine.
Okay. You surmise that the bodies range across anywhere from as recent as a day or two to maybe several months old at this point.
Okay.
But they are in a state of just slaughter, right? So it's very
slaughter.
difficult to tell. But that's the best you can kind of guess.
You all notice that Lucius has stayed far away from the alcove as possible upon knowing that there is gore in there, and hasn't gone near it. So it hasn't really helped the investigation. Upon asking, he's like, "Yeah, bros, I'm just gonna look out, make sure no one comes and surrounds us. I'll be on lookout. You guys go ahead and do the investigation."
That's a good idea, Lucius.
Yeah,
You're so
man.
thoughtful. You're
Bro.
so thoughtful.
I'm on it, man. Man, you know how this is how we roll up in Aerocroak land, aka quickly pens through, like, I forget the name of the town. What's the town? Raj?
Cordis. You're in the town of Cordis.
Line.
Line.
Cordis?
Nope.
Yeah, you're in Cordis. Yeah, you're in the town of Cordis.
No, where I'm from.
Oh,
better.
you're from the Stratus Excelsior area.
Yep.
The cloud
Yeah.
top city. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. That's a mouthful. You know, man, that's how we roll in Stratus. It's just Stratus, man. That's how we roll, man. And he goes off and like, you know, looks around for.
All right, shall we make our way back to the inn where we're gonna send word to Sidonius? Sidonius that we come with news.
Oh, I think we go back to Sidonius. Yeah.
I think you want to go back to his house. I don't know. I think we should go sleep first.
Okay, we can go sleep.
Smiles, man, you all about that slumber, man.
You know, I want to be positive, and you know, when I haven't had enough sleep, I start getting angry, and I think that's why I yelled at that guy so much that he jumped off the cliff. And I just, you know, if I could be friends and make peace, that would just be so much better.
All right, man. All right, man. Let's get some sleep. Let's go. Let's get some sleep, man. Let's go.
We'll climb out of the house, and as we're climbing out, I want to ask Lucius, hey man, have you do you know this Chronomaticum? Are you familiar with this group? That book had some crazy stuff, but that
history?
That makes me worry.
Go ahead and roll history. Yeah, go ahead and roll history if you like.
9.
Does not ring a bell. You climb up the rope leading back to the house and find yourselves once again in the confines of this space where you had fought the original set of Starspawn that attacked you from underneath the bed and beyond the pile of rubble. As you make your way out of the house into the very early morning hours of the night, you can see the light of pending judgment off on the northern horizon, still sort of bathing the entire broken waste in a shadowy type of glow. And you emerge into this quiet neighborhood in East Crack, and there you are. You're making your way back to the Flounder Pounder, correct?
Yep.
We are.
Correct.
Okay. As you head back towards the Flounder Pounder, you can see it's getting very early in the morning. It's probably about 4 a.m. at this point. And you can hear the stirrings of several folk, lights starting to flare up in some of the houses as lanterns are lit. And the day is getting started for some of the more industrious villagers within Cordis. You make your way back to the edge of Deep Crack and wind your way down the eastern wall through various rope bridges, ladders, swinging down ropes, clambering down these platforms until about an hour and a half later, you finally reach the bottom, and the light of the sun just starts to peek over into the sky, changing the eastern horizon to various hues of pinks and reds as the night starts to dissipate. And you find yourselves at the doors of the Flounder Pounder just as dawn starts to creep up. You open the door and find many of the previous evening's patrons sleeping where they were, peacefully snoring their drinks away. The bartender himself having, kind of just passed out on the counter. But the rooms you acquired that evening are available to you all, and so you head upstairs and get some rest.
Yeah, man, we're gonna retire, man.
How many rooms did we get? How many rooms did we get again?
3, I think.
We get 3?
You did get 3 rooms. Yes, you did get 3 rooms. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna head into my room and long rest.
Okay.
I follow Smiles right behind him, like expecting to go in where he's sleeping.
Okay. Smiles, Valfire is right behind you, basically just a step behind you. Are you?
Oh, I turn around. I say, "Oh, this is fantastic, roomies!" And yeah.
All right. And so you guys make it into your room, Smiles and Valfire. You see 2 small beds with threadbare sort of covers, straw mattresses, pretty basic trappings here in this room.
Yeah, I say, I call top bunk, and even though I realize there's no bunk beds, I say, just kidding, whichever one you want.
Yeah, so these are beds with like mattresses on top. I go and Valfire crawls up under the bed. Like he won't sleep on the bed. He goes under and sleeps under the bed, and gets the back left corner and just rolls up and goes to sleep under there.
Okay, that's special. Yeah. How delightful.
And yeah, I get onto the opposite.
Kind of like a
bed.
wild animal, just like, pulls his hood tighter around him and his pack, but goes up and under, deep under the bed. That's it.
Sure.
And doesn't say
Yeah.
anything, just smiles.
So you kind of crawl around 3 times, circle around, and then sort of bed down. And
Good night.
smiles.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
My princes.
All right, the two of you retire for the evening. Hror,
Oh yeah, I'll look at Lucius and give him the head nod. Hey man, I'll yell if anybody attacks me in the night. I'll come, the usual. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Bro, man. And wait, Lucius is going to go into the room with Roar. I assume there's 2 beds, right?
We have 3 rooms.
you have
coming in
3
with me?
rooms, so
Oh.
yeah.
Lucius is like, bro, okay, man. I'll see you later, man.
Mhm.
And he goes into his room. He turns the bed, just the bed, on its side, climbs onto like the frame, and then like his claws clamp, and he just like puffs up his feathers and just like gets all comfy, and then just standing on the frame, just like in his sleep,
Okay. You have
locked on the
perched.
frame.
Yeah, you
perched on
perch
the frame.
yourself on the edge of the frame, and you settle into.
Would he have done that on the foot of the bed? Sure. He decided to do it a little. He needed a little height.
Sure. Yeah. So you perch yourself on the edge of the frame of the bed that you've tilted over, your head barely keeping below the ceiling in this tiny room, but you managed to find sleep rather quickly after the day's events. And Hror, how are you finishing the day?
I'll walk in, look around. It's pretty fancy. It's good stuff. I'm gonna write a quick letter to Sidonius. Pop Owl in. Oh hey bud. Oh hey Owl. I need a letter delivered here.
Of course! I've been waiting for you to summon me, Hror. A letter, you say. I could perhaps discourse with you on the day's events, and perhaps we could rationalize about the interesting things we saw and try to.
I'm really tired. I'm really tired, bud. I'm
okay.
just so tired. I got blood on my feet, on my paw, on my claws. It's not good.
Yes,
But we figured some stuff out. Will you let Sidonius know we're gonna come see him in the morning? Because it's and I'll pass him a quick note.
Of course, Hror. I would be glad to use my special abilities, which no other creature has, to deliver this letter on your behalf to Sidonius. Very well.
You're a real special owl. Thanks, bud.
An owl flaps out the window and sails off into the night.
You know,
Returning-
one thing I do appreciate is Raj's consistent use of the same arm action when talking about the fox.
It's pretty good, right? Yeah.
It's just him with the short.
It's so good.
It's real good.
Dinosaur arms.
So owl flaps out into the night. Do you wait for him to return, or do you just pass out?
Oh no, just pass out, clothes on, go.
Okay. All right. And as the sun rises, the 4 of you rest your heads for the evening, and you can complete a long rest. Strange.
Well, question: We're
Yeah.
low. We're kind of like low in the crack. Does the sun penetrate into this area like early morning, or like just dead? Only when it's overhead. I imagine there's a lot more sunlight, right? Way down low.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a good question, actually. So, the shadow, the deep crack is swathed in shadow for most of the day until the sun actually reaches the zenith right overhead. So it's generally pretty cool down here. The shadow itself is mostly from these large mountainous finger-like projections emanating out of the Cragclaw Mountains. These 5 massive peaks that are articulated almost like joints and sort of cup the broken waste in their hand. And so these massive 20,000 foot peaks, some of them maybe even higher, if they were to be articulated completely straight, cast long shadows over the entire broken waste, and some parts are cast completely in shadow for the entirety of the day as a result. Deep Crack does see some daylight for about an hour at the highest point, basically around noon every day. But it is usually in shadow. Light, there's enough light from daylight, but it is pretty shadowy for the most part.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I just sleep. We sleep for 8 hours.
Yeah.
The long rest is good.
Yes, you can certainly take a long rest. However, the four of you do start to dream. Each of you a different dream, a slight variation on a theme, but each one of these dreams starts with faces appearing in the dark. Faces with these lidless eyes and these lipless mouths, the star spawn that you had fought before, and whispers chattering, echoing in your mind. Pick at whatever mental resolve you have left from your exhaustion from the day and start to suffuse your mentality, and you are racked with nightmares of these creatures, of the large multi-armed creature that you fought, that nightmarish creature with the multiple arms, of greater horrors, massive eyes, huge mounds of undulating slime with these long tendrils capped with eyeballs and mouths just wreathed in fangs. You see a starscape. You find yourselves at one point floating in space, surrounded by nothing but stars at an infinite distance. And the existential dread of being lost in that void overcomes you until finally you are greeted with a vision of pending judgment. As you kind of fall through this space, pending judgment kind of rises above Anaril, getting closer and closer and closer, and the impact forces you awake, all of you, at roughly the same time, close to about noon, as you find yourselves kind of gasping, heaving, drenched in your own sweat. Your long rest is over, but there's another journey that seems about to begin.
Point of order, birds don't sweat, so...
Aarakocra do.
I was really hoping you would say they don't, and I just have to cool myself down. I have to keep my beak open like a crocodile.
Oh, sure, you can do that too.
Okay, cool. Man, it is hot. It is so hot. I hate it. Bros, I hate it when I wake up with my mouth open. It's so hot.
Oh, I think I'll do what I've done often, sleeping in
night beak.
in the what's the fighting ring called? We're in
The quarry.
Quarry. I'll just quick move my hands and point in the direction of Lucius and go, "Oh man, I had a terrible dream," and casting message.
Okay. Lucius, you hear a message, a whisper in your mind, or in your ear, rather.
Do I know it's Roar?
Oh yeah, I've done this before to you.
It's his voice, yeah. You recognize it.
Bro. I had the wickedest night training. You've heard him talk about night trainings before. He apparently doesn't have a good concept on the idea of nightmares. He thinks they're just like training from his monks, his monastery, about like they have to do it in his sleep. Bro, man, night training, I failed. It was ridiculous. I'm gonna have to do 100 push-ups today because I failed.
Said all that through message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the message probably caught like bro, and then like cut off, and he's still talking, but it like it's
Sure.
like the end of the voicemail. The voicemail beep
maybe-
went off.
Yeah.
Likely the rooms are so like the walls are paper
Yeah,
thin,
there's
and so you
holes.
just hear it through the wall.
Yeah, actually, Valfire and Smiles, you also heard the message just because the walls are so thin, and even the roar was whispering. It
He
was
talks
came out.
awkwardly loud.
Yeah, I say to Valfire, I'm like, well, I just had just the most delightful dream. It was so fantastic. It was just like darkness and monsters and fangs, and gosh, it was scary.
Pror, as you awaken, you see standing at the bedside is Owl holding a missive. Pror, you've awoken! Most fortuitous, I've been here for quite some time. I did not want to disturb your slumber, but I do have a message from Sidonius here for you that I have retrieved with my exceptional skills as a creature of the arcane. Perhaps today we can engage in some sort of activity that could leverage my unique perspective on the world. What say you?
Great talent for the arcane.
Bro,
I'm
is
sure
that
we
the
could-
bird talking?
It's the bird. It's the bird. It's the bird. Owl.
Tell him I still
Owl.
hate him.
He doesn't hate you, Owl. It's fine. I'm sure we can
I-
find
You
more
guys talk
messages for you to send.
telepathically. I don't.
Oh, that's
you
right.
Can't hear, you can't hear them.
He's yelling to the wall.
Quite all right. I understand the different strokes for different folks, as they say. I am merely an arcane representation of a bird. I'm not actually a bird. But I can see why that might.
Stupid raptors.
I've seen
I
you
can see
hunt.
why
It's
that
fine.
might put Lucius off a bit. I will keep my distance. Perhaps I shall try to butter him up with some interesting factoids about familiars. So that might be interesting to him.
You know, it might. I think he likes to learn stuff a little bit. Usually about fighting and everything. But yeah, we'll try. Anyway, can I read this note here? And maybe I'll send you on another note quest later. Use your talents.
I am so jealous that Owl gets this huge personality, but Three Licks is like silent, never does anything.
We'll talk.
Yeah. Roar, as you read the note that Owl sort of deposits at your feet, you see that it is a missive from Sidonius, who urges you to come visit him at his home at your earliest convenience.
Out loud. Oh, we got an audience with Sidonius. He did say he's part of some... Everyone can hear. He's got a group that's secret, and they might have actually seen some of these guys before. We got to ask them about this stuff. This is a harbinger of bad things, guys.
What did you say about a secret society? Somebody's just shouting randomly from the wall.
Yeah.
There's a group that found a cool bar that meets. We can't tell you about it. It's okay, but it's really cheap drinks.
A speakeasy? I love speakeasies.
I will not tell you the password.
Do they have craft cocktails?
I think they put fish garnish on.
My
Anyway, we
flavor
got.
profiles are mint and jalapeno.
We definitely live in California. All right.
Are there other places that people can live? Like voluntarily?
That works
Bellfire,
so well.
it
The
did.
covering the mouth works so well.
Bellfire, what do you got?
All right. Great. So back to Smiles asking me about dreams. Velfai would have said, I often dreams of fangs and death and fire and blood. Every night, actually, I dream of it. Surprisingly, I did not dream my normal dreams that I have. This one was less violent, and it was interesting, kind of calming. But don't mind me. Do you often dream of death and dying and blades and blood and fangs and tooth and the moon?
Not usually, but something different. It's a gift. Life is a gift, and it's fantastic, and it's just such a great time. And gosh, why'd it have to be so mean and scary though? That doesn't really make sense for me.
Yeah, a lot of things don't make sense to you, I've noticed. It's fine. If we adventure together long enough, you'll learn. But you know
Oh,
what?
that's
I
that's
see
fa-
that-
fantastic. I do want to learn. You're so right. You're such a smart
What-
guy. Gosh, I'm so happy to be with so many smart guys.
I'm so perceptive, Smiles, that I see that you have a smile on your face, but your eyes tell a much different story. I see much sorrow in those eyes, my friend. And I'll just say, one day I'll share my story, and you can share yours. And I'll walk out the room.
Yeah, Smiles just maintains his smile, but you can just kind of see, just a little bit beyond his face. It breaks a little bit, but he's still very outwardly happy and smiley. It's just a little crack.
I'm getting real Joker vibes right now from Smiles.
That would be different. We could do Joker smiles.
I'm also wondering why he got freaked out by the food. Is he scared of food? Who was it that? No, was it Eric? Was it Lucius?
It was
afraid?
Lucius. Yeah,
Oh,
bailed out of the food. Fresh
No.
food.
Oh, yeah.
It was Smiles. It was Smiles.
Oh, it was Smiles. Okay.
Yeah. Thinking back to that episode, now that you've had a little bit of time to reflect, go ahead and make an insight check.
Everyone, or just
Just Spellfire.
I mean, I can't. My rolls are horrific. Like, I don't think I've rolled above. All right, so 6.
6.
2 plus 4.
Something was definitely off. You did see him flee in panic from that room, but you're not quite sure what might have driven it.
Understood. All right. So Valfire heads out of the room.
Okay, you walk out of the room.
I'm just standing in the hallway waiting for you.
I walk out and say, "Wait for me, buddy. Let's walk together."
The two of you walk out to find Roar just kind of like standing there, like towering over you both, right outside of your door.
I say, "Hey, big guy, high five!" And yeah,
But I'll high five his head.
Okay, yeah, that's a way to do it.
Oh yeah. Hey, we gotta go see Sidonius. We gotta report on this stuff and maybe check in with Lavela too.
Yeah, I bet he's gonna pay us good too.
He does owe us some money. Oh, let's go.
Yeah, one thing though, we're not gonna mention the book, okay, guys? We're not gonna mention it. We'll tell him what's in it, but we're not gonna tell him we have it.
Yeah, I want to ask about this chromatarium.
Real quick, Rob, what was the name? What was the
name?
name of the dwarf fighter from the quarry that died?
Oh, yes, that was Yini Kaleva, one of the combatants of the quarry, one of the regulars. She failed her dexterity saving throw as the lift started to teeter with the first cable snap and pitched over the edge and fell to her death. At some point, you probably would have realized the lift fell on top of her and probably crushed her out of existence.
Of course, makes sense.
Yeah. So as we're walking out, sorry, go ahead, Mike.
You all notice that the room where Lucius was sleeping in, the door's open, and he's not there.
Oh. Can we go look? Lucius? Anybody see where the bird went?
Do you think he went? He's kind of an older bird. Do you think he went for like a morning walk, just to kind of get things moving, or perhaps some morning yoga? These monks are known for stretches and whatnot.
Well, he
Perhaps
does a
that's what it is.
kata. He warms up and does like some punches into the air and stuff in most mornings. So yeah, we can go look for him there.
Well, Rory yelled out for Lucius. Does he hear?
Lucius, are you around? Do you respond?
No, he. How loud is he yelling? By the way,
Oh, Lucius? Lucius? It's
would
not
it be heard
hollering.
outside the building?
Depending on how far away you were, potentially.
Like across the street?
Probably not.
In the road. Yeah. Okay.
Probably not. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
let's go
say-
look for
I'll
him.
s-
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I say. He probably went down for breakfast. I thought I saw a bird feeder hanging outside the door. Come on, but I think there might be warm breakfast for us downstairs. Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. So the three of you descend and enter the tap room and find yourselves among a lazily meandering crowd of people who are still some of the patrons are still there in the same positions, continuing to drink from where they were the previous night. Many of the others have shifted at least positions and are maybe sitting at different tables now for the sake of variety. And many others have kind of filtered in and out, as the Flounder Pounder at this time is a pretty bustling place. The fisher folk who ply the waters for these stone scale fish are on their lunch break, essentially, and many of them have taken up residents at these tables and are consuming heartily these fish cakes, these mash cakes that Picard, the large burly barkeep and chef continues to make. And as you descend, you hear, like, with every footstep, you hear a continuous sort of pounding against the bar of this stone mallet, like driving potatoes and turnips and fish into a mash, and then like scooping it up and shoveling it into a hot bubbling bowl of oil. So as you descend, you see the crowd before you and see the bustling activity of the Flounder Pounder. What do you guys do?
Oh, I'll sit right
I
down to eat some breakfast.
Yeah.
All right. So for we'll say 2 silver, the lot of you can get breakfast. And
Point of order. I think you said we, as
We
part of
did
our
pay already.
yeah,
we
you're right.
paid.
You're right. You did. Yeah. So well, that was for one night, right?
included. Oh, for that was dinner. Just
It
for
doesn't
that
come
night?
with continental breakfast?
No, it comes with
Yeah,
incontinental breakfast.
I go over to what was the bartender's name?
Picard.
Picard.
Picard. I say, hey, Picard. I thought, it comes with breakfast, right? Our rooms come with breakfast. We got 3 rooms. We only needed 2. These come with breakfast, right?
He continues to slam down on one of these fish cakes that he's making, and he kind of, like, while he's continuing to work, he just kind of gives you a side eye, like a little bit of a stink eye. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Let's go.
Ooh, that's 24.
24. All right. So he looks at you and just kind of shakes his head. He's like, "All right, fine," and with a hand dipping it into the boiling oil, and you can see like his hand is very heavily calloused and fully scarred from all these oil burns, and he seems not even to mind as he scoops out 3 cakes. He kind of slaps them down on the counter right in front of you, and you can see like the grease kind of like sizzling and dripping off onto the stone countertop, nestling in the oil, kind of nestling into the nooks and crannies there, and gives you 3 cakes.
Uh-oh.
We need these to go. Do you have any to-go containers?
Need them to go? Then just take them.
I will put the whole thing in my mouth and walk out looking for Lucius.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
They're probably hot.
By the time
Con saving throw?
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm used to fire. It's fine.
Yeah.
18.
Okay, all right. I'll say you managed to stave off any actual burning damage to your tongue, but it is super hot, fresh out of the oil. But you continue to shovel it into your mouth regardless.
So hot, but so good.
It's good. It's better that way.
You get an occasional touch of relief as you find a cool piece of cartilage or bone inside. But as soon as you pick it out, the meat,
So
you can see
random.
like puffs of steam coming out in the cool misty air from the hot fish cake.
So
It's delicious.
while you all are getting breakfast, you hear the door open for the tavern, and in walks Lucius, holding a little I guess paper is a thing, but maybe paper bags aren't a thing. I don't know. Like he's holding
Little wood
holding,
byproducts.
Yeah, exactly. He's holding in one hand a muffin, and
Cloth.
another hand a cup, and you recognize the logo on the cup, and the cup says Starklux,
Uh-huh.
and you immediately kind of guess that he just really wanted some Aarakocra fare, and Starklux is the chain that does serve Aarakocra brand coffee and fare. So
Pretty good.
Canon. That's canon.
Small-
That's canon now.
They're
locked locked in.
The Starklux, which is towards it was close to the lift, or it is close to the lift. Luckily unscathed from the previous night's events, but is one of the more popular food establishments in Deep Crack. Familiar greenish logo and mermaid sort of woman with hair sort of cascading down.
Bros, I would have gotten you some, but I didn't know your order, man, and like I didn't know you got down with like Starklux. So tomorrow maybe, man, I'll get 4 cups.
So Smiles uses prestidigitation to make his own cake and Valfire's cake a reasonable temperature, and then eats it. I eat mine. Valfire,
Okay.
do whatever you want.
All right, yeah, it
No,
cools very instantly, very rapidly in your hands, and becomes quite palatable.
Valfire says to Picard, I'll just take a fresh one, a fresh fish, and just ask for the rawest fish that he has.
You just want a fish, just one fish?
Whatever you've got, as raw as you can give it to me.
Uh,
I want it raw, really raw, bro.
Oh, I can't wait for you all to be gone. He takes a fish out from from a barrel and slaps it on the counter. The wetness of the fish splashes in your face as he slaps it on the stone counter.
Yeah,
at
and
this-
just grab it, start eating, just like eating into the flesh.
Yeah.
As,
So
Smeagol-like in your
at-
desire.
Yes.
As Picker, what's that his name?
Picard.
Picard.
Picard. As
But not Picard.
Yeah,
it's-
as
it's
Picard
Picard,
reaches for the fish, Smiles just kind of announces, "You know what? Yeah, I'm good here," and goes outside.
Okay. So as you so Valfire, as you pick up this stone scale trout, this fish is a common feature of the broken waste and plies the rivers. The high mineral content of the fish actually forms these crystal deposits in the scales, and actually makes it really, really crunchy, and almost like you're biting into pebbles. And so it is terribly uncomfortable to chew unless they're scaled.
Oh, well, I would have ripped it open
Okay.
in half and eaten it from the inside.
Oh, got it. Okay,
You see
all
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah. So as you kind of rip off the very pebbly sort of texture with these like sort of crystal deposits inside the scales, like giving it like sort of this kind of star field type of glow, you find the flesh inside, and as you consume it, it is incredibly salty. The pink flesh it almost tastes like it's a seawater fish.
This is delicious. This is delicious.
Your lips get super chapped as you eat it, but you do manage to consume it.
All right, there you go.
All right.
That's it.
All right. Now that you all have consumed your breakfast, gotten your star clucks, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're gonna make our way to Sidonius'
Sidonius' house, yeah.
house,
Okay.
and we'll show up there.
Okay. You make your way to Sidonius' house. You travel to the very southern end. You're already at the Flounder Pounder is at the southern end of Deep Crack, along the lake, kind of jutting out into it on a set of pillars. You make your way to the southern end, climb a set of stairs, and find yourselves on the fourth tier, where Sidonius' house is the last in the row closest to the waterfall and the canyon wall. You knock on the door, and after some time, you start to hear some shuffling from behind the door. And as you open it, you see, as the door opens, you see behind it the green-scaled figure of Sidonius himself, dressed in a different set of robes, incredibly finely crafted, and if not somewhat a little bit older in style, but a new set of robes with a nice sort of lacy or like an ascot, and sort of like this reddish goldish robe that he's got tied around his waist, and
He has a kimono on. You're saying, got it.
so,
got
sort of like a kimono, yeah, more like a bathrobe, but like very intricately woven with gold thread and everything, but certainly of a much older style. And so as he answers the door, he greets you, and says, "Oh, it's been quite some time. I expected you to be here many hours ago.
Well, we were pretty exhausted.
Come on in!" And he turns
Thank you.
around and starts walking inside. Shut the door behind you.
Dragonborn. Okay.
So, Sidonius, I think we found some really interesting stuff you're going to want to hear a lot about. Do you have that gold? You have that gold for us, though?
He walks down the dark hall, and he kind of looks over his shoulder for a second and shakes his head and tap, 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 continues down the stone floor towards the same parlor that he spoke with you in the previous evening.
So, what were the creatures? There was Starborn,
Starspawn.
Starspawn. We went into that house and
Tap.
there were
Tap.
You're talking.
Tap. He's laughing.
Sorry,
Put my
he's
hand
gone.
on,
Is
if
he-
I put my hand on Smiles, I say, Smiles, go forward. He wants us to talk in his lounge. Go.
Oh, okay.
Not
Yes.
just because
follow.
I know you love to hear yourself talk, but please talk to him in his face. Go.
So we I follow him.
Okay. By the time you reach the parlor, he's already seated in the same overstuffed armchair by the fire. To have a fire in the Broken Waste is an extreme luxury, and he seems to be enjoying it immensely, as this room is significantly warmer than the rest of the cold stone housing.
Are cooking fires normal?
Cooking fires are normal. People usually burn things besides wood, right? Like the dung from clawfeet, for example, or perhaps bundles of dried skygrass. But actual wood burning is not a common thing. So as you enter the parlor, he kind of, he's kind of sitting there with his chin on the top of his cane and just kind of bids you all sit in the various chairs and couches before him.
Did you light that yourself? And I'll just, little fire coming out of the finger.
Oh, okay. I did. I am old, but I'm not an invalid. I still have my senses about me.
Well, yeah, but did you light it yourself? Indicating
No.
Using magic.
I do not have the same magical abilities that you do. No.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So on to business.
To business.
Sidonius.
Yes. What did you
Sidonius.
discover in the house?
We
Yes.
discovered
Tell
a
me
lot.
now. Tell me now.
Oh, I'm
I'm
gonna be
waiting
happy.
for you to speak quickly.
At this point, Lucius walks over to the bookcase. I assume the bookcase. Grabs the hearing horn on there and walks over and hands it to Sidonius. He goes, bro, man, you might want to start using this, man.
He looks livid as you hand him this more decorative piece than anything else.
Oh.
And he stares daggers at you.
Bro, man, don't get mad, man. It's in your house, man. You can't hear, bro. That's all you, man. Bro.
Sidonius, I think you can see how helpful of a group we are, and we're even helpful now in this room with you. But let me offer some help about what we found. Are you familiar with Starspawn?
At the mention of Starspawn, his
Bro,
eyes
use the horn. Use the horn, bro.
his eyes go wide, and he kind of leans back in his chair. I have heard tell of these creatures of legend. What know you about them?
Well, we had to kill a few of them, a lot of few, and then below the house there was actually a cave of kinds with some real beasts down there. They were not nice guys. They didn't really want to be friends. If you can believe that, can you believe that?
There was also
If
there
it
was also those stores of goods, which was very strange. Perhaps it was a safe house of sorts. You sent us there knowing stuff, and these creatures almost killed us.
Now, there was more. There was more, but part of our agreement was, you were going to pay us and you were going to give us information. So we've given you some information. It'd be nice to hear some information from you.
Can I look around and go, well, are we not going to tell them about all the dead bodies? The townspeople who were killed and mutilated down there too?
Bro.
We are, after he tells us something.
Bro, we're playing a little like tit for tat, man.
Bodies,
Play
you say?
cool.
Mutilated.
Now, there's
Townsfolk.
lots of details about the bodies, but why don't you share first a lot about your little secret society?
What more did you discover?
Well, I'm getting ready to tell you all about it.
In what state were these bodies?
Yeah, it was real interesting. And it's going to be fantastic to know about. Tell us about your secret society. What's its name?
This is most disturbing. We Starspawn, you say. We suspected some type of disturbance, but this is beyond what any of us suspected. I must report this to the head of our order immediately. Do you have any more information you wish to share about this?
Oh, absolutely. I've only given you half. Are you going to keep up your end of the bargain?
Yes, I fully. He reaches into his pouch, into his robe, and starts fumbling around and pulls out a pouch, a heavy pouch, clinking with coins, and hands it over to you. What more have you learned?
So at this point, I take out of my pack the bracelet and the couple other trinkets, and I say, there were townspeople down there, and maybe with some of this, we could identify who. And their bodies were not recognizable otherwise. They were ripped to bits, and there was a book.
A book. What say you of this book?
Well, I say, what do you say information-wise? We're looking for stuff, too. We've got our own investigation going on. You've been kind of cagey about what you tell us about yourself and your findings. What can you tell us?
If what you are providing to me is worthy of value to the head of our secret society, then I will reveal much about it. But I must go to the head of our order in order to give her this information.
Well, you tell her that it's a mystical, magical book that talked of Hastor and the Chronomaticum.
And the great old one.
At the mention of this, his cane falls out of his hands, and his clawed fingers grip the armrests of the chair tightly, causing little tears in the upholstery as he squeezes, and you can see his forearms kind of emerging through his sleeves, massive forearms that must have been strong enough to wield the great sword hanging over the mantle at this point, still glistening, glowing in the firelight. He leans forward. What name did you say?
Well, which one was it? Was the Hastor?
You found a book with the name Hastor written in it.
Oh, we did.
Where is this book now?
I just, you're still asking for a lot of information. You're asking a lot of questions. We've given you more than enough information. I think you owe us some information.
I have given you 500 gold pieces to discover. Our arrangement was for 500 gold pieces for information regarding this house. Give me the book.
And you have information, but you can't have anything.
We'll give you the book, but you have to give us answers first.
What are your questions? You keep asking for information
what's the name of your order for starts?
I have told you I will relate this information once she deems you worthy. If you do not complete this task, she will not deem you worthy, and our business is concluded.
I care less about that. I have questions about Carruthers. Yenny, my lover, died because of his doing.
Yenny.
Yes, I loved it. That's what I called her. My little Yenny, even though she was bigger than me. She died. Who is Carruthers? I care not for these petty squabbles of this world. Vengeance is what I care about. Who is Carruthers?
Give me the book and I will answer all your questions.
Wrong.
Fair enough. You'll tell us who Calabasas is, and I take out the book and I hold it in front of him.
Okay.
Here's the book.
As you take it out, it is like holding a mote of darkness in the firelight. All the light that seems to touch it gets absorbed by it, and it looks like you are holding like an empty space, like a portal, almost like a void in midair. Sorry, what did you say?
I said, here's the book. Now you know where it is.
Yeah. Give it to me.
Rory is. You think that's a good idea? He's got a lot of demands.
Sidonius, what does the Chronomaticum have to do with the Dragonborn?
Give me the book and I will answer all your questions.
Bro, man, answer the question, man. Stop being so cagey. And he like rolls up his monk sleeves.
He stands up. What you have in your hands is not to be trifled with. It is of the utmost importance. You are a fool to think you can hold this book and not suffer the consequences.
And you
Well,
can? You can hold it?
Yeah, man.
He goes over to the fireplace and picks up the greatsword, hefting it as if it weighed nothing, and stands there holding the tip of the sword down, resting his hands on the pommel and the hilt, and says, I can handle much more than it would seem.
So,
Respect.
Smiles puts the book down on a nearby table, not directly to Sidonius, and takes the bag of gold and kind of weighs it. Can I tell if it's all there?
Make an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
If this isn't as bad as you say it is, perhaps we should hand it over to the authorities, the leader of this town, versus you. We do not know you and your organization.
Yeah, I think we gotta tell Lavela. Yeah, we gotta tell Lavela about all these townspeople dead.
Yeah, it's a 5 on intelligence. Smiles is real smart.
It feels like a heavy bag of coins. Yeah. He looks at you as you say the authorities and says, this provincial authority has no knowledge of the cosmic horror that this book foretells. This would be akin to giving a greatsword of extreme magical power to a child and expecting that child to defend the world against a horde of dragons.
Well, when you asked us, when you were going to pay us 500 coin, the 500 gold, that was to investigate. That wasn't to bring you anything back, and that certainly wasn't to hide anything from the authorities. I think that that's the you got to give us something, information or more money.
The greatsword swings up, and he takes a step forward. We had an arrangement. Are you reneging on your part of the arrangement?
No.
Well, no. I'm just pointing out that the arrangement was for information. It wasn't for books, and it wasn't for doing anything illegal.
I tire of your caterwauling. You will give me the book, and I will answer your questions, or I will chop off all of your heads and let Lavela Morrstrider attempt to find you.
Now,
At this point,
cool your heels. The book is right there on your table.
He starts walking towards the book.
Lucius, by the way, steps in and goes, bro, man, you can get a lot further with a lot of sugar. Just be sweeter, be kinder, man. I don't understand why there's so much hostility and
He reaches
so
for
much
the book.
curtness.
He grabs it.
Yeah.
He picks it up and
Book's
puts it
yours, man.
inside of his robes and goes back down to sit in his chair. You are all idiots. Some of the biggest fools I have ever seen.
I've seen some pretty big fools, man. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I think he's doing the sarcasm thing where he's actually complimenting us. That's so
Smiles.
nice of you.
You are perhaps the biggest of the idiots in this room. But our arrangement was that I would answer your questions, and so I will. What is your first question?
We want to know what you know about this Calabasas Carruthers mystery man.
It would be best for you to speak with Lavela Morrstrider about that, but I will tell you what I know. First of all, she is looking for you. Apparently you were to meet her early this morning. Her agents, the Stone Wardens, are scouring the town, trying to find you and your troop.
This is Calabasas.
No, Lavella.
This is
no.
Vela.
More
She's the high marshal in town.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, we forgot. Did she invite us to go talk to her after the lift thing?
100%
froze again?
forgot.
Apparently,
He's back.
apparently you were to meet her at the quarry this morning. Or so my informants tell me, and you were not there. You were to meet her at the quarry, and you were not there at the appointed hour, so she has the stone wardens combing all of Cordis looking for you. Carruthers. I do not know who this is, but this name has shown up several times in the past few months. Always in accordance with several of the accidents that have befallen the city. Bridges collapsing, mine carts being overturned, while over giant chasms leading into the darkness. People that were killed. It is said they all received notes from this Carruthers. In fact, should you go speak with Lavela Morrstrider, you will discover that the poor folk you rescued from the disaster on the lift last night were all bearing a note from Carruthers. All received at the same time, all drawn to the lift at the same time. Someone or something is causing quite the disturbance in Cordish.
Well, that just doesn't seem very nice.
It is not. I and my organization seek to find out how and why and who is behind this. But this information you have brought is of a far more perilous nature. I must consult with the leader of our group.
One more thing you could tell us about. We're gonna go find Novella, and do you have a kind of a get out of jail free thing we could tell her about you?
I'm fairly certain our transaction has ended, my friend.
Well, you're a real friendly type, aren't you? I bet you got a lot of friends.
Bro,
Sidonius.
can we come meet Sidonius, man? You're like head of your order. I'd love to hear what this person has to say.
Come back tomorrow.
Like what time, man? Talking about like breakfast? You gonna cook us some poppy seed muffins, maybe some Starclucks? Or we talking about lunch? Where we got like, do you barbecue normally, bro?
He stands up. Good day to you.
Because I don't like barbecue. I'm just letting you know. I don't like barbecue.
Prestidigitation, I snuff out his fire.
Okay, you stuff out his fire. Smoke starts to billow inside the hearth as the fire is snuffed out, and he gives you a glare that would melt ice and says, "Leave now."
Yeah, you're real welcoming.
And then we,
Well, out of Valfire grabs a piece of paper out of his pocket and hands it to Sidonius. I say, you said you'd give us answers. I need answers to these questions. And
I said,
walks
come
out.
back tomorrow.
I said, but you need to research these questions. Here. And he puts it on the table. He won't takes it and then walks out.
Okay. You want to send me what?
Then what the questions are.
What the questions are? Yeah. Okay. And all right. So all of you walk out.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Okay. You walk out, and you find yourselves in the shadowy early afternoon of the bottom of Deep Crack. What do you all do?
Hey guys, you think we should find Novella? You think it would be good if we went to her first? We told her she could find us at the quarry. But
Bro,
guess
man,
we
I
went
think that's
there.
a really good idea, man.
Or
Yeah.
maybe we could just go and do something else.
No, I think the Stone Wardens are gonna find us. Hey, I know I've
Well,
Kinda,
they might
kinda.
find you, and then Smiles changes into a
a dragonborn. He turns into Sidonius.
Sidonius, huh?
Yeah.
Well, this is gonna raise some questions.
Well, she might find all of you, but people barely know me.
Smiles, why do
man.
you look like Sidonius right now? Hey, do you guys see Smiles right now? Do you guys see this guy? What's going on
Look
here?
at me. I'm a big hole. And I think I'm high and mighty. Doody doody do.
Yeah, and I say, I'm very familiar with this spell. It's this guy's self, and I'll but it's just an illusion. I'll just swing at the top of the head, expecting it to pass right through it.
So as you do that,
Ow, you fool!
you clock him right in the head, where you expected there to be an illusory sort of cover over his face. The skin, as you touch it, feels green and pebbly and scaly, as if a dragonborn's would feel.
This is strange.
I
This is
told
not
you,
magic.
our transaction is complete.
Polymorph doesn't allow you to change into creatures. This is a very strange magic that Smiles has.
I'm taking notes. Oh, I wonder if I can learn something like that. Okay.
There's nothing you can learn. You
Hey,
are
hey.
all fools.
I think you're
Hey
slipping.
man, you're just mad because Sidonius told you that you're the biggest fool. And by the way, this is awesome. You should totally use this later on. I can see 1,000 ways where this is going to come in handy. Change back, let's go. Come on.
All right, Smiles poofs back into Smiles. He's like, wow, that skin was really slimy.
I know I've told you guys before that I'm not a huge fan of the Dragonborn and what they used to control and do and everything to everyone. But man, Lucius, you think that guy could fight, huh? That guy was old, but oh man.
Bro,
Can you imagine trying to spar with him?
I totally got a tingle in my tail feather.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I was 90%, man, scared, and then 10% excited.
A little
Or it
excited,
was,
right?
90% excited, 10% scared. I don't even know.
What do you think? Do you think we could have taken him? Do you think we could have taken him?
2-on-1, 30% chance we got.
Ooh, that's not good.
No,
That's not
man.
high. The math
It
on
was-
that is not good.
I'm guessing he was as far as handicapping system in the arena,
Sure.
probably level 15. We're in the handicap system. We're still at the tier level 3.
Oh, so okay, so soon is what you're telling me we can take him.
All right, so shall we make our way to the constable station?
Yeah, let's look for any stone warden because we got some news to share.
No, let's go directly to the
To
directly
Lavela.
To the Lavela, Novella.
Lavela.
Let's go directly to Lavela. Her office.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so you guys make your way out of the 4th tier and up to the top of Deep Crack on the western side of the chasm. And as you clamber up all the various ladders, it takes you another hour and a half to actually leave Deep Crack via the circuitous route. You can see down below many workers are surrounding the lift and are in the process of trying to excavate what has been previously destroyed. The lift itself is being torn apart, kind of trying to be salvaged for what parts remain usable, and it is just a bustle of activity all throughout all these different circuitous routes and channels that you use to kind of get from one part of Deep Crack to another. The destruction of the lift has created chaos in Deep Crack. Previously, it was a 20-minute journey to get from top to bottom, stopping at all the tiers. Now it's taking everybody an hour. Goods cannot be transported. There's no real way to kind of get wagonfuls of things from top to bottom. Crates and barrels and such are all kind of stopped up right outside the bottom area of the lift as the traffic there, and the farmers that are down there have no way to get their wares up to the top. So as you navigate your way to the top, you find coming over the rise, over a set of stairs onto a small platform that kind of hangs over the edge of Deep Crack. You find the hustle and bustle of activity here is even more maddening and people are yelling and screaming and shouting in chaos, trying to get to the bottom of Deep Crack with no way to get their clawfoot-driven wagons down there and their various goods. And as you look around through the throng of people, you once again see Merciless trying to shout at the top of his lungs, but his voice getting drowned out as he exhorts everyone to join the neo-imperialist cause to no avail. People much more concerned with their day-to-day and how they're going to manage this crisis. Moving through the throng of people and try to shove your way past, you find yourselves face to face with a pair of stone wardens who stand in front of the two-story stone structure that represents the town hall and is the main sort of the center of government where Lavela Morrstrider resides and holds office. And as the stone wardens kind of look at you, one of them a dragonborn, the other one a human, they kind of give you like a casual glance, turn back to the throng, and like kind of turn with eyes wide as if like, whoa, it's the guys we were trying to find. And you can see them kind of like reaching for their swords on their belts and trying to like go for their shields all at the same time. You can hear like their armor kind of clattering as they're maneuvering very clumsily, trying to like pull their weapons out.
Yo, you bros,
Yeah.
just chill, bros. Chill. We're coming in peacefully, man.
My sword's out. We're gonna have it at Donnybrook? Okay.
No,
I
man,
say, hey,
Rory,
hey guys,
Rory,
no
chill.
need for that. We're here to see Lavela. Do you know where is she in?
Okay, make a persuasion check with disadvantage because Rory does have his sword out, looking like he's ready for a fight.
Smiling though.
Who, all
Not
us are-
gonna matter. Not gonna matter. So it's a 19
19.
because it's a 4, but then it goes up to a 10.
Ah, yes.
19.
You default to a 10. All right. So as they're struggling to get their weapons up, they see you're not making any menacing motions, and even though the bugbear, when you smile, Roar, it looks like you're bearing like these long fangs, and like there's like saliva dripping from the end. It looks menacing. But they see the calm demeanor of Smiles before them, and they slowly start to sheathe their weapons, and it's like, all right, come on, come, the marshal's waiting for you, and they kind of usher you inside the building, and inside you're taken into a small sort of waiting area that is just packed with people, all kind of clamoring and shouting. Behind a desk at the far end of this room is Lavela Morrstrider, who has her head in her hands as people are just shouting all different things at her, all at the same time, all of them trying to get her attention on some matter of great import, at least to these people. Some of them trying to get their goods down Deep Crack and there's no lift. Some of them having suffered a robbery recently because their goods were left out overnight because they couldn't take them down. It's just chaos in here. But as your motley crew enters, she looks up instantaneously, her eyes locking gazes with each of you in turn, and everyone just kind of like gets silent all of a sudden as they can see she's got the death stare on her face. And she stands up slowly and looks at you all, and in the complete silence of the room says, I don't like to be kept waiting. And that's where we'll pick it up next week.
Sweet.
Mhm,
Awesome.
mhm,
Nice.
mhm.
How do you spell her name?
Yeah.
It's in the Lavela Morrstrider, Lavella, More Mor Strider, Strider.
And what was the name of the like her lieutenant that was also at the
Berman
lift?
Blaze Trail.
Yes, very good. He's also in the room, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And what does he look like? Again?
I picture him with tiny legs and huge arms. The enforcer, right?
Skinny legs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's legs day.
He's kind of short, but a relatively, kind of a rotund, big muscled dude, big muscly chest and big hairy forearms. Has a big black ponytail and a really thick black beard, all like a bear-like kind of man. You can see hair like going down his neck, like into his back, like thick furry hair.
Is it dyed? Is it dyed black?
No, it's all black.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has been over a week and a half since I've rolled for initiative.